Tribal colleges and universities are often located in remote areas and are more likely to serve older and low-income American Indian students, many of whom lack access to basic necessities like internet and running water. That's made learning during the pandemic especially difficult. And as Stephanie Sy reports, it has forced school administrators to find new ways of meeting their students' needs. This is part of our ongoing series, Rethinking College.
So sometimes I'll have LTE through here.
34-year-old Dee James and I are on the hunt for a cell phone connection in northwest New Mexico near her home on the Navajo Nation. I got one bar, but you get nothing there.
No.
Definitely not enough for a Zoom call. So how long are we without signal now?
Until we get a little further up.
This drive has become routine for James since the beginning of the pandemic, when Navajo Technical University, where she studies business administration, closed its campus and moved classes online. Just right here, off the side of the road.
Yeah.
All right. She pulls up to the side of the road, not for the view, but for the signal strength, enough to do her online homework and join Zoom calls.
I've got 2 bars.
And that's money for you.
And that's, yep.
Digital dead zones are a common problem in the remote Navajo Nation. Over 50% of residents lack broadband internet altogether, and those that have it pay between $20 and $40 more per month than in other parts of the country. James' home internet only works half the time, and one day last year, it all felt like too much.
I was on my way to work, and I got to the stop sign down here. I had called my sister. And I told her, I'm done. Can't do this. I'm tired.
James' problems are common among the nearly 22,000 tribal college students in the U.S. In addition to not having internet, half work to support themselves and their families while going to school. A majority are food insecure, and more than 2/3 were housing insecure, even before the pandemic. That instability contributes to tribal colleges' low graduation rate, just 19%. Add in the pandemic, and tribal colleges have seen an 11% drop in freshman enrollment, with more rural schools seeing drops as high as 30%.
It was a challenge. It was sad.
Elmer Guy is the president of Navajo Tech in Crown Point, New Mexico, one of the largest of the 37 tribal colleges and universities in the U.S. He says when the pandemic hit, the administration gave students federal aid to pay for food and transportation. It also scrambled to keep students plugged in.
We were trying to figure out ways to keep our students connected. We paid for their internet for 3 months. We made a deal with the telecoms, gave us a discount.
They've since installed hotspots in parking lots like this one. Students can drive here and log on to their Zoom classes in their cars. Some students drive hours just for reliable internet. Tribal colleges across the country have been making similar changes. Nebraska Indian Community College used COVID-19 funding to set up Wi-Fi towers across 2 reservations. Red Lake Nation College in Minnesota gave its students cell phones and hotspots. And Dene College in Arizona is building microsites off the main campus as a way to reach more students where they are.
We were far behind in terms of the underlying infrastructure, the operating infrastructure, because the federal government has never lived up to its responsibility to adequately fund our tribal colleges.
Carrie Billy, a member of the Navajo Nation, is the president and CEO of the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. She says pandemic relief funding, including $1 billion earmarked for expanding broadband infrastructure in Native communities, has been a boon for tribal colleges, but it doesn't close the gap.
Without that sustained investment, assistance, families, individual students aren't going to be able to afford internet at home. But there also needs to be an investment in infrastructure, in facilities, in dorms, in cafeterias, and in health centers.
With many students and staff now vaccinated, science labs, the innovative Vet Tech program, and other hands-on learning are restarting at Navajo Tech, as are some of the traditional gatherings that make Native colleges about more than academics. Navajo Tech recently brought back small healing ceremonies for students. On the campus Hogan, which in Navajo means home, a staff member and medicine woman guides Twyla Largo in prayer. During a chaotic time, these ceremonies offer students like Largo an opportunity to reestablish harmony with the world around them, a key tenet of Navajo culture.
You can't think negative when you're in a ceremony. You feel that peace, you feel that comfort in your heart.
Navajo Technical University Provost Colleen Bowman says this is what makes tribal colleges unique.
We're responding to the needs of the community, and as diverse as our Navajo communities are, there's brilliance everywhere, there's struggle everywhere, we take it all.
As for Dee James' struggles, she persevered. And now that she's able to go to campus more often to work and study, she's confident she'll complete her degree later this year. She also knows some things will never return to the way they were.
We did lose my uncle to COVID, unfortunately. I mean, it really impacted me and my family.
The Navajo Nation became an epicenter during the pandemic, and students and staff here at Navajo Technical University were trying to stay on track, even as they faced incalculable losses to the tribe. In the final weeks of the spring semester, Navajo Tech students, including James, gathered to remember the loved ones they lost to the virus, writing their names on white balloons, then releasing them.
At some point in time, when you lose someone, you can't hold on to them forever. You have to be able to let them go.
Provost Bowman, also still grieving the loss of several family members, says the hardships have only fortified the mission of tribal colleges.
It may have hurt us, knocked the wind out of us for a while, but we're still here. And through education, that's the only way that we're going to get better and understand what happened to us and try to prevent it from happening again. All across the country, all tribal colleges and universities have that. They have that power. They've had it all along.
Always the power to survive, now with an infusion of funding and attention, perhaps a chance to thrive. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Tsai in Crown Point, New Mexico.